My name is Richard, and this is the story of how I lost everything I built with my own hands, not to fate, not to failure, but to the man I once called brother. It started 20 years ago, in a small rented office with cracked walls and a broken ceiling fan. I was 31, fresh out of one disappointment and stepping into another. Life hadn't been kind to me, not after my father's death left my mother with debts we could barely count. But I had a dream, and I had a friend. His name was Adrian. We met in college, two ambitious boys who shared the same hunger for success. I was the thinker, Adrian was the talker. I had plans, he had charm. Together, we made a perfect team. When we started our company, a small construction firm, people laughed. We had no capital, no connections, just drive and a second-hand laptop that overheated every hour. But where others saw obstacles, we saw possibilities. We worked day and night, drawing designs by hand, pitching to clients who wouldn't even look at us, taking jobs so small they barely covered fuel costs. Yet, we believed in what we were building. And slowly, the tide began to turn. Our first big contract came from a property developer who liked my ideas. We poured our souls into it. Adrian handled negotiations, and I handled the engineering side. The project succeeded beyond expectations, and soon, our company began to grow. By our 5th year, we had moved from that tiny office to a glass building downtown. We named it RA Developers, Richard and Adrian. The name symbolized everything we stood for: loyalty, friendship, trust. Or so I thought. As the company grew, so did our wealth, and with wealth came whispers. Investors began noticing Adrian more. He had that way with people, smooth, convincing, magnetic. He loved the spotlight. I loved the work. It was a perfect balance at first, but I started seeing changes. Subtle, quiet, but undeniable. He began calling himself the founder. He stopped consulting me on decisions. And worst of all, he began spending company funds like personal money, expensive cars, private parties, overseas trips under the guise of business expansion. I confronted him once. I remember it clearly. It was late evening in his office, the city lights glowing through the window. "Adrian," I said quietly, "we agreed that every major expense goes through both of us. I don't understand this new purchase." He laughed. "Richard, you worry too much. You handle the technicals. Let me handle the finances. That's what I'm good at." I looked at him for a long moment and said, "You're good with people, yes. But don't let that make you careless with trust." He smirked, patted my shoulder, and said,